Hi, honey. How was your day?
Not good.
Oh, what happened? Did you have trouble with some patients?
Not exactly. The problem is trying to balance patient care with all the paperwork, rules, regulations. I'm gonna lie down for an hour. I haven't been sleeping well lately. I've been having so many strange dreams.
You don't look happy. What's been troubling you?
I keep having these strange dreams.
Tell me about them.
And the one I remember most, I'm a physician at an outpatient clinic. I'm the only one there. And there are so many patients that I need to examine them all together. I'm worried about patient privacy, I'm worried about patient care, and I'm wondering where is the rest of the staff? That's all I remember. What could this mean?
Well, are you considering a career change? Have you been worried about staffing?
Of course, I'm always worried about staffing. But I did receive a memo recently about how clinicians and others can be excluded from government programs. I haven't had time to read it yet. Could that be what's troubling me?
It's possible. I know I can help you by summarizing the exclusion issues.
Great! I could use a clear and concise summary.
Absolutely. Providers can't bill for items or services provided by individuals or entities excluded from federal programs. Exclusions occur because of program fraud or patient abuse convictions, state licensure actions, and default on student loans. Half of the approximately 40,000 exclusions listed on the OIG website are related to state licensure actions. Sometimes persons subject to state licensure actions change states or types of license.
If someone is excluded, what is the impact on the provider?
No federal health care payment can be made for items or services that are furnished, prescribed, or directed by an excluded individual or entity. This applies even when the payment is made to a provider that has not been excluded.
What should a provider do when it finds out that someone has been excluded?
At least temporarily, remove them from providing services. Discuss whether that will include all services or just government program services with your legal counsel. Any paperwork regarding the exclusion should be reviewed, and the individual should only be returned to duty when there is documentation of government reinstatement.
Last question. What about repaying the government?
First, determine whether the person or entity was properly excluded and the correct time frame. Then analyze which services they ordered or prescribed. If they don't order or prescribe, then take a look and see if their salary, benefits, or contract costs impacted payment under a Medicare or Medicaid cost report.
This was very helpful, but I hope I can remember it all.
I know, it's a lot to remember, but sometimes the only thing you have to remember is to ask a question.
Thanks. I'll remember that.
So we have a situation. A review was done of the exclusion databases and it turned up 2 people. The first one is Claire Carson. She's a respiratory therapist. And the other, are you ready? Is Dr. Bird. What should we do?
Why were they excluded?
Ms. Carson was excluded related to a licensure action. Apparently, she was a licensed nurse in another state, which she did not disclose on her employment application.
What about Dr. Bird?
He had an issue with the repayment of his student loans, which he says was a mistake.
Well, the next steps are to set up meetings with each of them.
What do we do in the meantime?
Inform this Ms. Carson that she's off duty until further notice. We'll discuss her lying with HR. As for Dr. Bird, start calling around to see whether cardiovascular surgeons can take over his cases. And reschedule any elective cases that involve government program patients.
What about the emergency cases?
Have him do them, but if it's a government patient, don't bill for it.
Will Dr. Bird be able to still see non-government patients?
sure. We need to discuss this with our compliance and integrity people. It might take months to resolve this.
Do you think we're gonna have to repay anything to the government?
We might. It depends on how long they've been excluded and whether the exclusion and time frame are correct. I sure hope this works out with Dr. Bird. I know I couldn't fill his shoes.
Oh, hi, honey. How was your day? Oh.
Wonderful. It was just like a dream.